Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor to welcome you all on the third round of the very first inter-school English debate competition organized by Bangladesh Television Chattogram Center. Man on earth is known to be the most powerful creature, not because of their physical strength, but their knowledge. Knowledge is a state of awareness or understanding and learning of specific information about something gained through experience. Knowledge can be easily acquired through debate as well. With debate, a person can express their views dynamically and make intelligent decisions which helps and benefits our society on an everyday basis. Dear audience, with knowledge comes intellect, and intellect is one of the most prized quality to have in the world we live in today. I'm pretty sure with wonderful perspective and great intellect, the debaters here today will be presenting their sides of the argument with utmost dignity and grace. On that very good note, I, your host, Prapanti Chakrabarti, would love to invite you all to come along and enjoy our very engaging debate competition today, participated by two competed teams. Today, the selected motion for the debate competition is: becoming an entrepreneur is better than becoming an employee of a company. The team for the motion belongs to CDA Public School and College, Chattogram. The team against the motion belongs to Cumilla Cadet College. Speakers for the motion are Sadia Nasreen, Fablia Rumaisa, Amira Nasir. Speakers against the motion are Cadet Ayman, Cadet Fardeen, Cadet Ryan. The honorable adjudicators of today's session are Mohammed Abdul Majid, ex-debater, Accountants and Audits Officer, Government Republic of Bangladesh; Marufa Rahman Ima, Senior Information Officer, Regional Information Office, Chattogram, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting; Ayun Shaha, Assistant Professor, Bioinformatics and Biotechnology, Asian University for Women. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the constructive round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 10, Presentation of Theory and Information 15, Argumentation and Rebuttal 10. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the rebuttal round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 5, Argumentation and Rebuttal 20. Dear viewers, now I would love to introduce our honorable moderator of today's program, who will be conducting the entire competition and announce the results at the end. The honorable moderator of today's competition is Mohammed Roshangir, former Deputy Managing Director, Bank Asia Limited. Now, I would most humbly like to request you, sir, to come up on the stage and take your seat. Before we start the debate, I would like to inform you about the order and time allocation of each debater. Each debater will get 5 minutes to present his or her speech. An alarming bell will ring on the 4th minute, and the final bell will ring on the 5th minute. In the rebuttal round, both the team leaders will get 2 minutes each. Alarming bell will ring on 1.5 minutes, and the final bell will ring on the 2nd minute. Dear viewers, before we get on to the competition, I would like to inform you that from now onwards, you can not only watch our episodes on your television set, but also on Facebook and YouTube. Tune in on facebook.com/btvchattogram and www.youtube.com/@btvchattogram. Now, I most humbly like to request our honorable moderator to preside over the program and start the debate.
Assalamu alaikum. A hearty welcome to you all, basically the participants. In the name of Allah, Almighty Allah, I would direct go for the debate session. Considering the topic of our session today is becoming an entrepreneur is better than becoming an employee of a company. And for the motion, I'll request the first speaker of CDA Public School and College, Chattogram, Sadia Nasreen, to place her.
Unlike working for a company where your salary is decided by someone else, your income is decided by you alone. If you work hard and the business is a success, you can reward yourself. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor to speak. Today, the sign topic for our speech is becoming an entrepreneur is better than becoming an employee of a company. For actual and factual reasons, we are strongly in favor of the topic. Honorable Moderator, I have divided the whole topic into three parts, which are entrepreneur, employee, and company. Honorable Moderator, what does entrepreneur means? Entrepreneur is a person who undertakes the risk of starting a new business ventures in order to make a profit. Today, we are talking about each and every entrepreneur who are characterized by their willingness to take risks, their innovative ideas, and their drive to have a new product or service to market. Employee. An employee is someone who works for a company, institution, or another individual. Company. A company is a legal entity formed by a group of individuals to engage in and operate a business enterprise in a commercial or industrial capacity. Honorable Moderator, I hope that my opposite team will show us which type of company are they talking about. Are they talking about companies limited by shares or limited by guarantees, unlimited companies or public companies? Honorable Moderator, becoming an employee is good, but becoming an entrepreneur is better. Basis on this, today I will stand some main points, which are entrepreneurs always invent something beneficial for the world that makes our life easier, modern, and smarter than before. 2. Entrepreneurship boosts economic growth. It also accelerates research, technological, and industrial development. 3. Entrepreneurship brings social development. It is switchable and applicable for every creative and hardworking person in the world. Women and people of any age can choose the path of entrepreneurship. 4. Companies are highly dependent on entrepreneurs. Also, it creates employment for the others. To begin with, entrepreneur creates new business opportunities. In turn, this creates jobs and stimulates the economy. Honorable Moderator, if the entrepreneurs do not take initiatives to build workplace, then where will the employee work? Additionally, entrepreneurs are often involved in philanthropy and volunteering within their community. Honorable Moderator, there are some basic characteristics of entrepreneurship. They are 1. Reducing the foreign dependency. 2. Solution of unemployment problems. 3. Receiving new products and services. 4. Creation of eagerness and inspiration. Moreover, entrepreneurship boosts economic growth by introducing innovative technologies, products, and services. Entrepreneurship promotes economic growth, provides access to goods and services, and improves the overall standard of living. Entrepreneurs serve as a catalyst in the process of industrialization and economic growth. Entrepreneurship is innovation, and hence the innovative ideas of goods and services have to be tested by experimentation. Therefore, entrepreneurship provides funds for the research and development with universities and research institutions. This promotes the general development, research, and development in the economy. So, Honorable Moderator, in case of economic development, an entrepreneur contributes more than an employee. Honorable Moderator, most of the disabled people are now doing online business and being self-independent. Many women are becoming entrepreneurs. They often have a strong desire for independence and control over their work and are motivated by the potential for financial success and personal fulfillment. Honorable Moderator, we know being an employee of a company is beneficial and important, but is not better than entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has enough autonomy, unlimited income potential, creative freedom, flexibility, personal growth, and the ability to create lasting impact are all compelling reasons to consider an entrepreneurship. Now, opposition team, please show us that being an employee of a company have those advantages or not. Honorable Moderator, we have seen that most of the entrepreneurs has reached the highest peak of success in life. Across the world, the idols we follow, if we look their background, they are entrepreneurs. For example, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. So opposite team, can you show any successful idol who is an employee? Honorable Moderator, being an entrepreneur is a miserable one financially. But if you have a great idea and work hard for it, it will definitely show an excellent path path for you to become rich. And this modern world, we all know that money can buy at least some happiness. Thus, the income part is an important factor no matter how much we deny it or not. Honorable moderator, we know that employees have a fixed salary, which are common benefits, but it has nothing special and beneficial than entrepreneurship. That's why being an employee of a company is important, but being an entrepreneurship is better. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Now I would request the team against the motion from Cumilla Cadet College, Cadet Rahman, to present his deliberation.
After hearing the fictitious and extremely motivating speech of the first speaker of my wise opponents, I must say I am now in a perplexing dream to become an aristocratic entrepreneur myself, investing all of my life savings and assets. But as a conscious person of my future well-being, I am not so easily misguided from my aim, because I know that if I fail to face all the challenges and risks of becoming an entrepreneur, my company is sure to go bankrupt. As a result, all of my life savings, my mortgage for the loan, everything will vanish just like that. Vanished. So, wise opponents, let's not become an entrepreneur and put ourselves at a risk and ensure a life full of uncertainties. Honorable moderator, judicious panel of judges, wise opponents, and dear audience. Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to you all. Today we have all gathered here to witness a battle of logic on the first BTV Inter-School Debate Competition for the year 2023. The motion on the floor is, becoming an entrepreneur is better than becoming an employee of a company. And for some very logical reasons, I, along with my team, stand firmly against the motion. August gathering. Analyzing the topic, we can mainly get two parameters: becoming an entrepreneur and becoming an employee. Now, my wise opponents have already mentioned about the entrepreneurs, but they have missed one crucial point, which is the financial, political, reputational, and economic dysfunction. So, entrepreneurs are the people who undertake all the risks of starting a new business venture, considering all possible financial, economic, political, and reputational dysfunction, in the hope of achieving profit or success. Whereas employees are the people who are hired by a company in exchange for a salary to work or perform any service for the company. Honorable moderator, the first thing that a person needs to start an entrepreneurship is capital. After that, he needs experience, connections, networks, financial help, economic stability, and many other things. Now, my wise opponents have been constantly speaking about becoming an entrepreneur, but wise opponents, have you even once thought about where you can actually get the capital? Because a bank will almost never give you a loan if you do not have a guarantee of success, even though you might have your assets for mortgage. Besides, if you do not have experience as an employee of a company and do not have a lot of networks and connections, you will never be able to get your desired investors if you want to start your own company. But wise opponents, starting your own company has a lot of risks, and the main risk of it all is losing everything or bankruptcy. Now, if that happens, the employees won't exactly be in the same situation as the entrepreneurs. That's because whenever a person takes a job, he signs a contract that if he's fired from the job, he will be given compensation and a set amount of allowance per week or per month before he gets a new job according to the company policy. Not only that, my wise opponents, do you really think that the entrepreneurs who are failures will ever be able to recover from this predicament only by availing a new job after that? The answer is no. And honorable moderator, this fact has already been proven by the Harvard Business Review. They sent 2,400 job applications across different firms of USA, which consisted of failed entrepreneurships and non-founder profiles. Now, even though both groups had almost the same qualifications, the research had shown that the entrepreneurs were 43% less likely to get a call back to attend a walk-in interview than the non-founder profiles, which is as expected. So, dear opponents, being an entrepreneur isn't exactly a better option. You're basically throwing your whole life away on the basis of a huge gamble. Instead, if you choose to become an employee, you will certainly get a steady paycheck, paid time off, pension, retirement plans, health insurance, work-life balance, and many other advantages to lead a comfortable and healthy life. So, I hope you will choose the better. Wise opponents, guided by your own logic, let's say that the employees of Facebook and Alibaba have left their jobs and started their own platforms as entrepreneurs, since it's such a better idea. Now, my question to you is that who will then work for the said companies, and again, who will then work for the new entrepreneurs that you are so much suggesting? Not only that, upon hearing your speech, if the highly skilled garment workers who provide 81.16% of the total export of Bangladesh decide to leave their jobs, then who will fill up these vacancies of the garment workers? Then again, my wise opponents, do you really suggest taking away 80% of the total export of Bangladesh? Question remains. Only 16.5% of the entire world population are taking on all the risks of becoming an entrepreneur. And out of those 16.5%, 75% of the people are becoming big failures. Source www.apollotechnical.com. But opponents, what about the rest of the 83% who didn't adopt entrepreneurship? They are surely choosing technical employees like doctors, engineers, and lawyers, or government service holders, or even employees of the private jobs. And these are all amazing jobs. So, wise opponents, instead of giving false hope to these innocent people and misleading our young generation to go and start an entrepreneurship, which guarantees a life full of uncertainties, I request all of you to please take off your blindfolds and accept that becoming an employee is far better than becoming an entrepreneur of a company. With this, I would like to conclude my speech here. Thank you, Honorable Moderator.
Now we again go for the motion. At this point of time, I request for the motion team, Fabliha Rumaiza Ira, to present her derivation.
A person who creates something that is profitable for himself and also benefits the whole world is an entrepreneur. So if you are an employee, you are only a small part of a large team, but if you are an entrepreneur, then you are the team. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor to speak. Today's topic is becoming an entrepreneur is better than becoming an employee of a company. For obvious reasons, we are in favor of it. Honorable Moderator, at first, I want to repeat our standpoints because the opposition seems to have not understood it properly. Number one is about entrepreneurs promoting innovation. Number two is about entrepreneurship boosting economic growth, accelerating research, technological and industrial development. Number three is about social development, and number four is about creating employment. Honorable Moderator, at first I want to ask my opposition that where will all the employees work if there are no entrepreneurs? Half of the population who are employees, they work under entrepreneurs. Honorable Moderator, our opposition said that they are scared of taking risks. If we go back a few years, in the COVID-19 pandemic situation, according to CTV News, more than 225 million people lost their jobs worldwide. Thus, employees also have risks. They might lose their jobs at any moment, and along with that, they will lose their livelihoods too. Also, if a company goes bankrupt, where will they work? Hence, proven that both employment and entrepreneurship have risks. It depends on your hard work and efforts, and maybe on fate sometimes. You can't stay at home and do nothing just because you are afraid of taking risks. Honorable Moderator, aside from benefiting themselves, entrepreneurs benefit the society and economy too. Now I will show many facts and data to prove my point. Honorable Moderator, a significant role of entrepreneurship in economic development is that it can greatly enhance the standard of living for individuals and communities by setting up industries and creating wealth and new positions. It has the potential to improve quality of individual life by developing products and services that are affordable, safe to use, and adds value to their lives. Honorable Moderator, entrepreneurships identify market needs and develop solutions through their products and services to begin their business venture. By starting new firms and businesses, entrepreneurs play a key role in shaping the economy and creating more dynamic and diverse business landscape. And in these same businesses, the employees work. Honorable Moderator, as an example, also entrepreneurship is a pivotal driver of job creation. The employments our opposition is talking about, most of them literally exist because of entrepreneurs. Currently, there are more than 500 million entrepreneurs in the world, and the number of people who are employed by these entrepreneurs are in billions. As an example, we all know about Amazon. Amazon has helped the US economy to grow by more than $500 billion since 2010. As the second largest private employer in the US, they have more than 1 million employees across more than 977 communities. They have these 1 million people are employed now thanks to entrepreneur Jeff Bezos. Have employees ever helped the society like this? I hope our opposition will be able to show us some examples. Honorable Moderator, entrepreneurship plays a significant role in increasing economic growth and prosperity by increasing GNP. Entrepreneurship can contribute to GNP by creating new businesses and industries, which can lead to job creation, increased consumer spending, and higher tax revenue. Few years ago, when people lost their jobs due to the pandemic, Thousands of them started their own businesses, mostly online. After this, many of their incomes even increased from what they had actually earned before when they were employees. Honorable Moderator, according to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, there are 31 million entrepreneurs in the US, which is about 16% of the adult workforce. However, about 55% of adults have started a business at some point of their lives, and 26% have started two or more businesses. And this same USA has the world's largest economy, is one of the world's most developed country right now. This proves that entrepreneurs helps the country's development greatly, which is something employees cannot do. Honorable Moderator, Nigeria, Guinea, Republic of Congo are the most poorest countries in the world, and the numbers of company there is low. So what will happen if we send some employees there? Of course, nothing will happen. You have to send entrepreneurs to start something, like build a business. Honorable Moderator, by stating many facts, I have already made it clear that entrepreneurship is better than employment. But before ending my speech, I want to add that employment is not unimportant in any way. After all, to run a business, we need employees, but one must pursue the career which suits him better. Not everything is for everyone, but when we are making a comparison, obviously entrepreneurship is better. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, and thank you all the judges.
Now let us go again against the motion. I request Cadet Fadin to place his deliberation.
Just like we cannot judge a story of a book, similarly, we cannot get a justified solution of a dilemma only by judging one side of a coin or forgetting about the existence of the other. Similarly, while our wise opponents are only managing about successful stories of a selected lot of entrepreneurs, they're completely, utterly, and intentionally neglecting the other side of the coin, which represents the dark and untold story of entrepreneurship. Respected moderators, judicial panel judges, and my wise opponents. Assalamu alaikum and a vibrant day to you all. As my previous speaker has already mentioned, the first and foremost requirement to become an entrepreneur is to hold the capital. But my question to you, wise opponent, is that for where exactly will this capital come from? Will you give them? Yes, some of them can do it with their father's money, but what about the general mass people who have got everything to lose? Now, you can bring up the concept of angel investors who could help those entrepreneurs by providing them loans. But hold up, wait a minute. Didn't Silicon Valley Bank, one of the most prominent angel investors that you are speaking about, have gone completely, utterly, and dismantling bankrupt earlier in this year, as their venture in the entrepreneurship were not successful at all. But overall, seeing this scenario, I'm pretty sure that no other companies, including your own angel investors, would now like to invest on these entrepreneurs, as there is more to lose than to gain. So, wise opponent, my question to you now is that should the general mass people just put the entirety at stake just to follow a path of uncertainty, or should they follow the path of becoming employed in a company where there would be no such risk, can have a stable income, and even have job security as well? The question remains. Respected moderator, we all have heard about the revolution of poultry farms that had taken place in our very own country as a venture of entrepreneurship. But can you guess what had happened next? All of this so-called entrepreneurs' work had gone down in drain. Let me introduce you to Mr. Mohsin Mia, a young man in Rangpur who, after seeing others in this very sector, had decided to spend all of his savings just to establish his very own poultry farm. But surprise, surprise, after 11 months had gone, his poultry farm did not exist anymore. So's the business standard. So as opponent, such people like Mohsin Mia, who actually do not have any management capabilities, as well as who lack in knowledge, training, capabilities, leadership, and so on, are hugely misguided and hypnotized by the mantra, anyone can become an entrepreneur, and the cock and bull stories of such people like our wise opponents, because of which they had to lose their everything. But wise opponent, only if they had taken the path of being employed in company, wouldn't they be living in a much better and stable condition, as then they wouldn't have to unknowingly gamble with their very own lives? The question remains. Respected moderator, my wise opponents have up until now just told about the advantages of becoming an entrepreneur. But what they had neglected purposely and of course neglected was the dark side of entrepreneurship. Do you know Joy Oracle, the CEO of Innova Group of Companies, and Austin Hines, the CEO of Cambion Genomics? Do you know what both of them have in common? Yes, other than being utterly brilliant, both of them had to face the cruel fate of entrepreneurship, not being able to handle the pressure and being afraid to see the downfall of their very own company. They had thought that taking their lives away was the only remaining choice left to them. Do you know what Austin Hines wrote in his suicide note? When death feels like a better option. So as opponent, when we are seeing such tragic fates of such brilliant minds, how can you still say that for the general mass people, becoming an entrepreneur is much better than becoming an employee of a company? The question remains, wise opponent. Now let me give a clear-cut answer on why becoming an employee of a company is much better than becoming an entrepreneur. Firstly, as mentioned by my previous speaker, an employee of a company enjoys much stable income, a fixed schedule of working, job security, health insurance, paid time off, and even they can lead a risk-free and stable life, because of which they can actually enjoy their life as opponent. On the contrary, we have our very own entrepreneurs whose lives are full of uncertainty. For 24/7, they have to be submerged in their very own work, and mental pressure and stress don't leave their head even for a single second. Not even a single second was opponent. So why should we gamble with our own lives thinking that only money and luxuries are the only factors of happiness, the only factors of life? When by becoming an employee of a company, we can guaranteedly lead a stable, risk-free, contented and happy life? The question remains, was opponent? After hearing my knowledge and after hearing my speech, I'm pretty sure that it is much clear that the basis and the ideas that you're generating right now are baseless, factless, meaningless, and even futureless as well. So now I would like to invite you to this side of the house where we can clearly see that becoming an employee of a company is much better than becoming an entrepreneur. With this, I would like to conclude my speech here. Thank you all.
Now it's time for the team leader. And I would request Amira Nasir to present her delegation as a team leader.
Opposition has said many things about failure and unreal. So hear me out. In 1952, 50-year-old entrepreneur Colonel Sanders was rejected 1,009 times, but he did not quit. He tried again and again and succeeded in implementing his idea. Despite many failures, Colonel Sanders was a successful entrepreneur who remembered for centuries for his wonderful creation, Kentucky Fried Chicken, known as KFC. Now my question to the opposition is, are any employee of a company remembered by people like Sanders? So every existing thing on earth has disadvantages. That doesn't mean you are gonna reject them. Thank you, honorable moderator, for giving me the floor to speak. Today the assigned topic for our speech is becoming an entrepreneur is better than becoming an employee of a company. For some actual and factual reasons, we are strongly in favor of this topic. Honorable moderator, we have some strong standpoints against the opposing team. Our first speaker and second speaker has clearly mentioned them. Honorable moderator, an employee's future depends on the company that is created by an entrepreneur. Companies operate using the contribution on entrepreneurs. So opposition, please tell me, how can being an employee of a company is better than becoming an entrepreneur when companies are highly dependent on entrepreneurs? Let's see what happens if we really are better off being an employee. As our opposition claims, if Steve Jobs had thought like our opposition, if he had chosen to be an employee of a company instead of creating his wonderful idea, becoming an entrepreneur, and great invention like Apple would have never happened. 1,064,000 employees of Apple would have never been unemployed. Let's take a look at entrepreneurship in medical field. Biggest cardiologist of the subcontinent, one of the finest entrepreneurs of India, Dr. Devi Shetty, founder of Narayana Health. It's a free hospital that provides sometimes free treatment and many facilities from all over India, has performed over 1 million surgeries. Also, Bangladesh was weak in the medical field as there were only 37 government medical colleges and 4,350 doctors graduate every year, which was a small number of doctors for an overpopulated country like Bangladesh. By Professor Muhammad Yusuf, there is a private medical, and now there are more than 10,000 doctor graduate every year. We now have enough doctor. So can an employee of a company do something like this for medical field? Please answer that question. Entrepreneurship is the hub of innovation that provides new products, ventures, markets, technology, and quality of goods, etc. It has a massive amount of impact on society and community development. A society becomes greater if the employment base is larger and diversified. It brings about changes in society and promotes facilities like higher expenditure on education, better sanitation, fewer slums, high level of health and security. And entrepreneurs can create a workplace that is skillful and diversified, such as Elon Musk, whose company Tesla brought electric vehicles to the market, which is obviously create a workplace at various levels, and in future electric vehicles will revolutionize the transport industry, and it will also be eco-friendly by much less carbon emissions. Can an employee of a company do something like this for environment? Honorable moderator, they have talked about failure so much. Even Jack Ma was rejected 30 times when he was applying for jobs. Jack Ma has failed many times to find Alibaba, and now look at that. He has created employment for 2,028,000 people. Yes, there is a risk in entrepreneurship, but life is all about risk. If you want to be successful, you have to take risk. Honorable moderator, can you imagine an office running without Microsoft, without database management, without Microsoft Excel? But Bill Gates, one of the world's richest men, a successful entrepreneur, created Microsoft, which is used in every single company, in every single computer. Honorable moderator, just imagine how easy is data obtaining or information gathering is today. Thanks to the entrepreneurs like Binton Cerf, Larry Page, and also many entrepreneurs. And investment is not a big deal for this era. There are thousands of banks and organizations that will lend you an amount to build your business. You don't have to build something huge. You can be an entrepreneur by doing some cooking business in staying in your home. You can even start a business without any big investment. Even in a country like Bangladesh, Ayman Sadiq started 10-minute school with just one laptop without any big investment, and now we see how successful he has been. He received an award from Queen Elizabeth for his brilliant creation. Now answer those questions. Entrepreneurs can give their business to their next generation. Can an employee of a company do that? Entrepreneurs create job opportunities for others. Can an employee of a company do that? Entrepreneurs have the freedom to execute, to create their ideas and what they want to do, their creativity. But an employee can do that. They have talked about stress. Stress is in employment too, to get unemployed. So there are risk and failure everywhere. But in a comparison, entrepreneurship is way more better because it has more advantage. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Now, our team leader against the motion, Cadet Ryan. I would request him to please give us deliberation.
Dreaming is acceptable until you exceed the reality. But wise opponents, what you have told is neither a dream nor even a reality. Rather, you are succumbed to your own oblivion, where instead of proving the fact, you are trying to layer them up with unimaginable fallacies. Then again, omitting the risk and obstacles of starting a new business venture, you are always fascinated by the charms an entrepreneur might get even after a long journey of unpredictable calamities and also many risks, just if his own luck favors him. So wise opponents, welcome to reality. Here people have to fight against poverty for their livelihood, and starting a new business by own initiative is nothing but a daydream in this prevailing situation. Then again, risk is what remains after an entrepreneur thinks that he has thought of everything. So just like my previous speakers, I might say that don't just highlight the good part only. That way you will end up with multiple misconceptions. Honorable Moderator, judicious panel of judges, wise opponents, and enlightened presence. Assalamu alaikum. The Bangladesh Television School English Debate Competition is on the floor, and my previous speakers have already mentioned today's flow. So without further ado, let's get started. Even after asking so many times, we couldn't get a clear answer of the question that if everyone tends to become an entrepreneur, then who will be the one working for them? Then again, an employee has an upper hand here, as they are the driving force of a company. They can excel in their core job instead of being lost in so many things, just like the entrepreneurs. And wise opponents, I'm sorry to say that you have failed to understand today's topic, as the motion refers an entrepreneur who is likely to start a new business, not the one who has already become successful. Then again, another major crisis that you will face just after initiating a startup is the unimaginable influences of the already successful entrepreneurs over your own business. Let's bring two major examples here.
I believe everyone has heard about Mukesh Ambani, the largest business magnate of India. Well, at the peak of their regime, will they ever want any other entrepreneurs to surpass their success? Surely not. And this proposition was made true when Elon Musk bought the entire Twitter platform just to devour other entrepreneurs. Then again, if you think that you're out of their coverage, then let me introduce the elephant in the room, and those are the multinational companies of Bangladesh that won't think even twice to devour your entire entrepreneurship within blink of your own eyes. So, wise opponents, your own Tesla is trying to devour other entrepreneurship. So, think more logically, wise opponents. Now, as they have already cited many examples, let me say that you cannot stand a chance without a very strategic business plan in this competitive market arena where only the geniuses survive. I repeat, only the geniuses survive. So what will the major mediocre do? What will I do? The question remains, wise opponents. Then again, if the opponents cite the data that entrepreneurs are so much successful and they are leading a happier life than that of the employees, then I must say that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Then again, you successfully managed to keep an arm's length from the dismal failure rates, long working hours, high stress level, zero work and life balance that an entrepreneur faces, often leading them towards destruction and even suicide. So what's the point of prioritizing entrepreneurs above the employees who have stable life, steady job, and again a happy family to live with? I hope for a logical answer, wise opponents. Now to wash your illusions, let me bring about the 45th BCS preliminary, where a total amount of 2,68,119 candidates appeared against only 2,309 seats. Now, if entrepreneurship was so much successful, then why would these brilliant minds of this nation go for the job sectors? That's because job sectors give you secured government employment, they gain stable jobs and paid time off. Now, being deserted, my wise opponents might come up with the argument that what will the failed candidates do? Now, using the merit that they gain to pass the BCS, they can get other reputable jobs too. So, think more logically before giving any illogical arguments, wise opponents. Many unpredictable calamities are there, just like the political barriers influencing most of the decisions of an entrepreneur. Then again, there are the fluctuating economic condition, and again incidental crisis, just like the fire in Bongo Bazaar and even New Market, that led to a total destruction of 303 crore takas of the entrepreneurs. So wise opponents, how are you willing to save your entrepreneurs from these unpredictable calamities? The question remains. Now regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, they forgot that both the entrepreneurs and the employees were damaged equally in this regard. But they only highlighted the unemployment, whereas due to COVID, the stock market fell drastically and so did the funding of the entrepreneurs. And eventually they had to lose 50 to 80% of their turnover and major portion of the market value. Source, the Business Journal. Then again, now you might say that entrepreneurs are the one who are giving job to the employees. But employees aren't getting the job without any hard work. They had to acquire skills and potential to become an employee. Again, the existence of an entrepreneur is close to zero if there is no such employees to serve them. Then again, you are trapped in your own logic, wise opponents. So, without further ado, comply with our very fact that being an employee is far better than being an entrepreneur. With this, I would like to conclude here. Thank you everyone.
Now, we come up to the sum up, round up, rebuttal session, just to decide what should be better, the entrepreneur or employee. At this point of time, I would request team leader for the motion side, Amira Nasir.
Entrepreneurs don't fail. They just find thousands of ways that don't work. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the chance to speak once again. Honorable Moderator, large number of students graduate in most overpopulated country. Thousands of students apply for a job in a company, but they hire few students. What are you going to do with the rest of them? Of course, you can hire all of them. Instead of trying to mock us by using your punchline, they should answer our question. Honorable Moderator, they have talked about stress and dark side of entrepreneurship. Every existing thing on earth has stress and dark side. You should see that an employee also has that stress. Company politics and getting the risk of get unemployed is also a part of stress. Even we students are stressed. How can they defame entrepreneurs while studying in a school that was stand by an entrepreneur? Honorable Moderator, how they're gonna support employment when no one entrepreneur is gonna survive, or who who's gonna build that business? Someone has to initiate something to the business that the employee is gonna work. Honorable moderator, they are talking about if you have idea, innovation, hard work, then will a little amount of capital, he can success like Nasiruddin, who started with a little amount of money, and now companies like basic like zeros. Honorable moderator, the world needs both entrepreneurs. One is important without another, and it's important for the government to provide jobs to such a large population. Honorable moderator, yes, we are not saying that employment is unimportant. Yes, we need to run that business, and our companies, we need employees. But think that who's going to create that business? Who's going to initiate that business? We need an initiator, and an initiator is better than who's going to work for that place. That's why, in a comparison, both have advantage and disadvantage, but entrepreneurship has more advantage that they have the work of freedom. They can initiate something with their ideas. That's why it's better. Thank you, honorable moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Now we are heading towards the team leader, Cadet Ryan.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor again. We discussed about the multidimensional barriers an entrepreneur might face throughout our inter-discussion, but I must say, words don't hit our wise opponents unless it's repeated. Such statement that an entrepreneur is better than an employee denigrates a large section of the population. An entrepreneur can never alone accomplish any single production. They can lead an organization, but the field level works are possible only because of the employees. So think more logically, wise opponents. When our wise opponents were so much busy in finding out the shortcomings of employees, like less promotion and constant salary, they completely forgot about the mediocre society who aren't as smart as our wise opponents are. And again, the success of entrepreneurs that they are boasting about have a lot of untold stories behind them, like the risk, startup failures, mental pressure, and no work and life balance. But, wise opponents, as we have mentioned about KFC, will KFC ever exist if they have no employees? Do you have any logic behind it? Then again, they mentioned catalyst as the entrepreneurs as the catalyst of the building of the infrastructure of many industries. Now, will these industries ever exist if there aren't any workers and any employees? The question remains. Then again, learned opponents term jobs as modern slavery and the employees as the workers of other success. But all they're idealizing is nothing but a myth that entrepreneurship can give you ultimate nirvana. They told about entrepreneurs like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and whatnot, but you successfully managed to dodge the very fact that an exception can never be an example. Then again, my question is that why aren't any entrepreneurs like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg emerging in this very country where there are such efficient motivators like our wise opponents? The question remains. Then again, there are other very factors like, if you really want to say that there is no entrepreneurs in this very country, then you agree that all of them has become employees. So now it is the situation that creates leader, and apparently someone is bound to emerge as an entrepreneur as there is a very shortage. As they have skills, experience, and whatnot, they really will emerge as an entrepreneur, and the vacancy will be filled up apparently. So don't give the false inspiration to the mass people that they can become entrepreneur. Without this, become an employee can really serve your purpose. So with this, I conclude here. Thank you everyone.
So long we were tuned on the topic entrepreneur and employee. Both the parties tried their best to point out their all significant points for winning today's motion. But the fact is, actually, in the business world, and moreover in our country too, basically, entrepreneurship and employee, they build up a relationship. There is a positive factor over there. And because it's densely populated, we have to think of the employee too. And in case of the employer, there are numerous examples in Bangladesh, even in Chattogram. You have heard those business name who are leading now. But the crunch you have shown and the problem you have shown, I should say both the parties to be concerned. Basically, finance is not a problem, but the management is the main problem. We need leaders. We need business leaders. We need employees, the faithful, dedicated employees, because it's a partnership. Entrepreneur depends on the employee. Employee too totally depends on the entrepreneur. And this is a very significant relationship which should exist in any business world. Loss of profit will be there because entrepreneur or employee or both the side, whoever he is, they think of a target. They set a target because everyday purpose we have a target, same with the business. No one runs the business expecting loss at a future date. And no one employee works hard to get nothing for the employer. So morally, we both are very, very, very concerned about the main topic of today. I was really happy seeing the theme of today's debate. And the two brilliant groups, really, I do admire you two, both the groups. You have tried your best in proving your worth. This is what we did actually. Someone may lose, someone may win. That's not the factor. Don't lose your heart, but don't be too happy while winning, because someday I might lose. And you have talked about day and night. Don't be worried, your scoring are just being done. It will come to me, in fact. I will just give you the results. Winner team of today is Cumilla Cadet College. Very good clap, I'm expecting a very good clap. And the best speaker is Amira Nasir. Congratulations both the team for your strong participation. My honorable judge, my honorable orator, my scorer, and the TV personalities and Bangladesh Television Chattogram for such a fantastic program. Thank you all.